And I swear by the moon and
Stars
stars.
in the sky. I'll be there.
Y'all are so good at singing.
I was the
Was
voice.
that
Wicked
was
Solo?
Wicked?
the
You
voice
did that.
coach for Wicked.
Gotta hit
Oh.
that. Oh Lord.
For who?
Wait a second. Damiana Grande, let's go.
Damiana Grande.
Welcome
I actually
back.
hate all of
Welcome back to the Cool Comic Show. I am one of your hosts, Damien, and with me as always,
Damiana.
Damiana Grande, and with me as always is Generic, aka E. Also with me as always is Jelani Carter, aka Jelani Hendricks, aka Jelani, with the body, and of course Q Man Bean, aka Q Man, aka Q My Boo. We are back with our new next episode of the Cool Comic Show.
You did great.
This
You're
is
doing great, sweetie.
this is our first episode of 2025. This will be going up the first Saturday of January. Very exciting. Hope everyone had a
Happy
great
New
holiday.
Year type
Hope
shit.
everyone had a
Puffs,
great
puffs,
Happy
puffs.
New Year. We are recording this before New Year, so I'm going to predict that we definitely did not drink a little bit too much. We did not get hungover. We were responsible adults in our homes. But
W adults. Yes.
hope everyone had a great New
Woohoo.
Year, great holiday season, and we are very
Yahoo.
excited for what we have in 2025 for you guys.
I forgot that you can see my camera now.
We just got
Why are
finished
you-
recording episode 5 of Creature Commandos. Make sure you check that out. We'll talk about a little bit here. But if you're unfamiliar with our main show, we talk a little bit about everything comic books with TV and movies, with the books themselves, with video games, any other crazy stuff that might be happening. We get caught up in the last 3 to 4 weeks of news and kind of go through that. But yeah, like we talked about in the last episode, there wasn't too much news that was going to be coming out during the holiday season just because it is the holiday season. But we expect a bunch more news to be coming out in the next couple of months. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So we always start off with TV and movies. For DC, we didn't have too much, but we did get a premiere date for Harley Quinn. That will be coming out on January 16th, which is 1 week after Creature Commandos ends. And that will be our next reaction series. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check out the trailer. Have any thoughts, opinions, anything like that about Harley Quinn? Season 5, by the way, which is crazy.
Damn.
Think about.
Nice. I did not see the trailer, but y'all know, I am so excited. I think this is one of the best DC animated shows to come out in recent years. Like, it's just, it's so fun. It's gory. It's cool. I'm ready for it. And Kite Man made me sad. So
I never finished White Kite Man.
I didn't watch the Kite
Yeah.
Man series. Is it that bad?
it's not bad. Bane definitely carries. If you're a fan of Bane and Harley Quinn, you'll at least find some enjoyment in the show. But
Okay.
I don't think he could carry. I don't think Kite Man could carry his own show. But it had its moments for sure. It did. Q, you have 4 seasons to watch of Harley Quinn before January 16th. So
That's easy work.
yeah, easy work. You got it.
Yeah, it'd be easy, be quick.
Yeah.
E mentioned fan favorite Bane in Harley Quinn. Another fan favorite, which is in Harley Quinn, is our man Clayface, who is getting his own full-length feature film, which will be the 3rd DCU movie. It'll be Superman, Supergirl, and then Clayface. Mike Flanagan will be writing the script. I don't know if they had. Oh, it's in our next
Shouts
point
out,
here
shouts
as well.
out.
What
Oh, I was saying shout out Mike Flanagan.
is he?
He had a deal with Netflix over the past few years where he would create horror TV shows every year. He did The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, and The Fall of the House of Usher, and there was one more I'm forgetting, Q, if you remember.
I'm looking out here. Yeah, Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass,
Midnight
the
Mass.
Midnight
Midnight
Club,
Mass,
and then
yeah.
the Fall of the House of Usher.
Midnight
But,
Club.
All the
they
House
are
of Usher was awesome.
Great.
Fall of
game.
the House of Usher is still one of my favorite shows from 2023. Like, Jelani can tell you, I was telling everybody and their mother to watch that show. But he's really good. He's got a good eye for horror. And so I know that's the direction they're leaning for Clayface. I'm kind of excited to see what
Yeah.
it's about, what it's hitting for.
Yeah.
You know.
And we did get a date for Clayface and a couple of updated dates for a few DCU movies. So we know that Superman is coming out next, or actually by the time this episode comes out this year, July 11th, 2025. We'll kick off our new DC universe. If you have not seen our Superman trailer reaction, make sure you check that out. It's very fun, very exciting. Supergirl will be coming out the following year on June 26, 2026. And then Clayface will be coming out September 11th, 2026. Now, another movie that was supposed to come out in 2026, within the last couple of days, just got delayed. The Batman 2, originally coming out in October 2nd, 2026, will now be coming out, I think it's October 1st now.
It's October 1st,
I gotta stay alive until 2027.
I will be 35 years old when that movie
Hey
comes
man,
out.
let's calm down. Let's calm it down. Calm it down. Calm it down. Calm it down.
I actually just got nauseous. Here you say that.
Yeah, it's good. That means, and people were pointing this out, that's gonna mean it's gonna be 5 years between the first Batman and this one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, hopefully he makes appearances throughout these other ones, so people just
That's
like
what I'm
don't
hoping.
forget. But
I'm hoping there's like some sort of content. I know we're kind of spoiled due to the whole MCU of it all, that there's like content in between the movies.
I mean,
Because
it's still
even
5
between
years,
Superman
right?
and Supergirl, there's a 1 year difference between those two premiere movies of the DCU. So hopefully we get more projects like Creature Commandos, or even some comic tie-in, something. Just give us something, you know.
I think the discussion too is now because there's all these rumors that like, oh, they're pushing it back to tie it into the new DCU and make him the Batman, or what's going to happen with the other Batman movie. I will admit that maybe like we're fine without a bunch of Batman all the time. We got a lot of Batman always.
yeah,
But people were also like, man, if a Batman movie is getting delayed, when are we going to get these other characters? You know, like it's
Right. Yeah.
So.
With another Batman project announced and on the slate, right?
Yeah, with
Dynamic
Clayface.
duo.
Dynamic
Yeah,
duo,
stuff,
yeah.
dynamic. Like technically,
know.
yeah, Clayface. There's 3 Batman stuff on here. Like,
Yeah.
and if they make if they make a season 2 of the Penguin, that's more like technically
Yeah.
that's Gotham content, not necessarily.
Anybody hoping Bat Wheels
Batman.
comes back?
who?
Oh, it's Bat Wheels.
So Dynamic Duo is also coming out.
Okay.
That's coming out June 30th, 2028. And I'm going to be 36 years old when it comes out.
20.
Okay.
That
All
is-
right, buddy.
That is wild.
It's a real year.
Is anyone else concerned about this rollout? I mean, I think it's in good hands, but that's just a lot.
I'd rather they not rush. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say, I'd rather they take
I
their
would-
time with it.
I would
'cause we've
rather they
seen what
not
happens.
rush. They've been kind of down this road before, so it's good that they're taking their time and hopefully building up a story that matters. And we're seeing glimpses of future things through, Creature Commandos as well, because we saw Grodd in that Flash, in the Vision as well. So, I feel like it's going to take some time to move all those moving parts.
Yeah.
Kind of how we saw the Avengers first come out. But again, when the Avengers was first happening, we were unaware what the grand scheme of things,
Right.
So there was no rush. And I feel like we are kind of wanting this to rush to see what story they're getting to. But, take your time. We're getting older, but like, take your time.
That definitely
You know?
like I remember. I think this is a common take, but no one thought that they would start the MCU with Iron Man. There's at
Or with Robert
date-
Downey Jr.
right?
Well, but that's
More-
fair because
more-
like going
more
into the
importantly.
MCU, Iron Man, even Captain America and Thor, like they were not what's considered the big 3, and now they are. And so DC has its own built-in big 3, even though shout out Wonder Woman, they forget about her, but like. They don't have to do as much groundwork, I feel like, as Marvel had to do. But that gave Marvel the chance not to rush things, to get people to know these characters in a way that, DC fans already know those characters. So they're trying to, like, get to the meat of the story, We know Batman's parents died. Please do not show me again,
You want to see those pearls dropping in?
If I see those pearls drop one more time, I'm going to lose my mind, So there's definitely a stark difference, and so I'm not mad that they're not rushing it. I would like to see some middle content, maybe some more shows or like I said, comic tie-ins that hold us over. But take your time, make it right.
Yeah, I'm not concerned that they're not rushing it. I am concerned what is being chosen, because like we just joked about, there are 3 essentially Batman or adjacent things on here and 2 Superman things, and so it's like at this point until 2028 we're gonna have Superman, Supergirl, and then 3 Batman things, and that's kind of it, which again, I'm fine if it's a good story being told and everything like that, but I think what a lot of people's hope with this new universe, and my hope as well, is getting a spotlight on other characters. I'm happy that Superman is getting the spotlight and Supergirl, because they haven't really had anything. But again, with this rollout, it's just a lot more Batman. And it's like, there's whole other characters,
Yeah, and like, we do have some TV shows coming out as well, so we can't forget those. There's the Green Lantern Corps show.
That's true.
Paradise Lost is supposed to hit Max at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
even though
I'm not holding out hope on that, honestly.
Even though that doesn't include Wonder Woman for some reason. But, so they do have other things. I guess, like, because that did slip my mind as well, talking about this. So we do have some things happening outside of the movieverse. Yeah. So I think we should be good.
What I'm hoping for... Oh, go ahead.
I was just about to say, hopefully they do Wonder Woman right.
Yeah, my hope is this year, because I got 2025, Superman comes out on the 11th. That's like 2 weeks before Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. I know James Gunn like announces stuff on his own schedule, whatever the case. But if there was ever a Comic-Con to really put some spotlight on things that haven't been announced yet, because if you guys remember, when he put that first slate out, he was like, oh, this is like maybe less than half of what we're going to do for phase 1, basically. Yeah. This would be the Comic-Con to be like, okay, here are some big movies we're going to do that you don't know about yet. Because Superman's already out, so people, like, whatever else they set up in that movie, people will already know. And we'll already have like Creature Commandos done. We'll be like a year into this whole thing, and it'll give people kind of more insight aside from Clayface and the Batman 2 and Dynamic Duo. It's like, okay, here are some other movies we're doing that isn't just, some lesser known characters. So I'm holding out hope for this Comic-Con. We will do another Comic-Con stream this year. Obviously Q will be included in that this year, like we did last year. I will remember to save the footage, like I didn't lose it last time. We got too drunk and lost it all, but that was a fun stream. And
keep saying we.
Listen, it's just it was a whole thing. But that was a very fun stream. Our Comic-Con streams are always a fun time, and hopefully you guys can join us for that in the summer. But speaking of Superman, since we last recorded the main show, we did get the poster and trailer of Superman. I know we talked about our thoughts in that video, but if there's any other thoughts you guys wanted to add about the Superman trailer as we look back on it.
No, I mean, I think we got our points across during the trailer. I'm still excited for it. I think I love that they're leaning into like the comic lore of it and not trying to ground him as a realistic hero. So, I'm glad that we got to see Crypto like right away. They're like, this is a comic book movie, okay?
There's nothing realistic about Superman, bro. What are we doing? Why are you grounding a god?
Exactly.
I saw a comment, like there's that part where he's like in that glass box, whatever, and he's like punching out of it. I saw a comment, someone was like, why does Superman have to wind up and like to punch? And people were like, he's Superman. That's where you're questioning. He's a man that can fly, and you're quite like, I don't understand people's like obsession of like, well, what's the reality of this really works,
And he's just a dude from Kansas. You know what I mean? Like,
at the end of the day,
you know what I'm saying? He probably had to for real wind it up like, why I oughta?
Not the why I oughta.
Like I feel like people forget that he's like. For real, like a nerd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like a dork. Like, yes,
he's Clark Kent first, Superman second.
Exactly. I feel like those are the best stories when writers remember that he's Clark Kent first and then Superman second. You know what I mean? Like, that's why he is Superman. That's why he cares so much about the Earth, because he is just a guy from Kansas.
Yeah.
So like
exactly.
If he's got to wind up a punch, let him do that.
Q, I know you weren't in the recording. So did you have any specific thoughts about the trailer or the movie and everything like that?
Yeah, this is where I confess. Of course, I'm a staunch trailer avoider. But I'm slowly being converted. So I did take a couple. Did some side eye glances at one of the teasers, and I was like, I like what I'm seeing. I like the colors.
Yeah.
You know, I'm liking how the sky looks. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I think my preparation will be reading
All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman.
I gotta get the compact version of that.
Sense.
Yeah. I think
I'm the same way as you. Like I avoid, like, this will probably be the only Superman trailer I watch. I'm probably not gonna watch the other ones. I never watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like the full official, or even like the second and third trailers usually show a lot, so I definitely don't watch those. I
usually just watch like the first full trailer of stuff, especially now, because like I'm like, all the movies and TV shows that are coming out is like all with characters that I enjoy. So I'm just like, I'm not trying to, like, I want my expectations to still be pretty good before I go into like a movie or a TV show.
Yeah, but it looks fun. Make sure you, again, go check out our reaction video for our full, breakdown of the whole thing. And then the last piece for DC TV and movies specifically, Creature Commandos has been greenlit for season 2. We are in the middle of our reaction series of Creature Commandos. Make sure you check that out. I did see a funny meme when this got announced of that picture of that edit of Obama giving himself a medal, when it's like James Gunn greenlighting Creature Commandos.
That is funny. That is funny.
But yeah, it's been a fun show, and I'm not surprised, it's getting a season 2 of that.
Yeah.
Breaking news: Kid decides to keep playing with his toys.
It's just a reverse of that Toy Story scene. I want to play with you some more.
But that's about it for DC news. Now we go over to Marvel.
Okay, I think I can handle this, Dame. All right, so with Marvel TV news, all right, and TV and movie news, what if season 3 dropped? We discussed this a little bit before we hopped into the recording. Had no idea season 3 came out. Not gonna lie, I did not get a chance to watch season 2. Yeah. I mean, of course, season 1 is fantastic. Everybody loved it. But I just have not been keeping up with it. I think just lately, when it comes to Marvel properties, I kind of catch what I can. Yeah. And like, not usually when it actually drops. I remember Damien and E, you were saying that you've heard some rumblings that this season is not that great. Yeah. We checked what the release schedule was of this season. It's a little weird. It premiered last week at the time of this recording.
Yeah, we're recording today is December 29th, Sunday. So
exactly.
The breakdown of the schedule. Go ahead.
Exactly. So we're recording this today. It's been coming out every day since it released last week. Which is very weird. Either just drop the whole joint or do it weekly like a normal TV show. Yeah. But something tells me they kind of had a feeling that this season wasn't going to cook, so now they're doing this. It's like, just take it. We're going to release it. So thoughts on What If Season 3? If you guys watched it or read about it?
I've only seen season 1. I have not watched season 2. I think the concepts, and I think a lot of people kind of said this as well, a lot of the concepts I feel like are not as creative as they could have been. Of like, you can do literally anything with What If, and you kind of just come in. Like, I think one of the concepts for this season was like, what if Hulk fought the Armored Avengers or something like that. But one thing I did see,
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say I did see a picture of Moon Knight as like a transformer.
So I was gonna say I don't know if it's their end credits thing or whatever, but I saw a bunch of screenshots today of people being like, oh, this was like the end of What If, of like like it wasn't a full episode, it's just pictures. One of the things I saw was like Jubilee as Silver Surfer or something like that, and it was like Storm as Black Panther. Like, they've kind of just basically meshed a bunch of characters at the end, like in their credits, and kind of just showed them off.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, I think they kind of just didn't really know much. Again, I can't speak for it specifically because I haven't watched it, but it just seems like a lot of people aren't happy with What If at this point, and they're kind of just ended it to kind of just, all right, here it is, and I'm sure at some point down the line I might have a random free weekend and throw it on Disney Plus, whatever. But I'm not too excited.
I'm looking at the titles of this season right now. And I mean, it's cool, but it's not as like grabby as that first season. I think they really knocked it out the park with that first season, and also kind of shot themselves in the foot by making it super continuous. I don't think that's a word, but like making everything tied together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like
it
now
should have been an I was about to say analog anthology.
yeah, like have everything be like contained. You know what I mean? Because now, I know season 2 had some tie-ins to season 1, and now that they're in this spot, and it most likely it's the same thing with season 3, and it's just like, who cares what the story is? The cool thing about What If is just like kind of like Damien said, blending of characters, blending of stories, like literally like What If. But the fact that they're trying to make like a narrative out of it is a little weird, but it's cool. It's fine. But yeah,
let us know what you think of What If you did watch it in the comments.
Moving right along. All right, so Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is not dropping in 2025. It got delayed.
Rip.
Is it coming out 2026? Who knows?
You know, I don't know how old Damien will be by the time it comes out.
I don't know how old Damien will be.
But yeah, my thoughts is
to come out in 2024. Remember?
Was it? Oh,
yeah, that was
Yikes.
the original.
Yeah, it
release
was
date.
supposed to come out a year after the last movie, and that
right, yeah.
that is not happening.
Okay.
It's continuing to not happen.
yeah.
Did it have anything with the story getting approved, or
I
remember
think they were
some
just
production hiccup.
overzealous on their
Yeah.
timeline. I think they assumed they could get it done, and then like I remember
A year is insane.
I remember like even in the middle of the summer they were like, oh, we just finished a script or something like that. Like they just I don't know.
They got a little overzealous.
Yeah. I'm glad the MCU is slowing down. You know what I mean? It's just like they were just putting out so much
Because I'm not gonna lie, even I was getting 50. There's still Disney Plus shows I haven't watched.
Man,
Like
and
Echo, I want to
be-
watch Echo.
I
so
used to
bad.
be like an
Just haven't.
MCU defender, like, no, it's not too much. They're releasing at the perfect time. You just gotta watch it. And then it started happening.
And then
like,
it became too much.
yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the fatigue I was talking about. And I was
It's like, oh, I
damn.
get it now.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
You
They were
normies were right.
Yeah.
The next, I know it's not on the list, but the next big show we are gonna have for MCU is Daredevil in March.
Ooh, I cannot wait. I cannot
That'll be
wait.
coming
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see those characters again. I was thinking about it the other day. I kind of want to do like a Netflix MCU like rewatch.
recap.
Yeah, and just watch that again because I really love Daredevil. I love Punisher. Jessica Jones was a lot of fun. Luke Cage season 1 was good.
I love Jessica
And
Jones.
that other show existed. But yeah.
Shout out Danny.
It was okay. I can't even say like
I can't lie. I think I'm in
straight
the
up bad.
minority. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, there was
enjoyed
definitely enjoyable parts. I think
said
he's
that
most
other
enjoyable
show.
when they did the crossover series.
Yeah, the Defenders.
Yeah.
When they did the Defenders, I think that was he was most likable.
Forgot that happened.
Yeah, so did a lot of people.
It's been a minute.
Rivals, and then Rivals is not helping his
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, the thing is, that's because of the Netflix show. The Netflix show came out, and they were like, why did this white man go to this mystical Asian country and steal their superhero powers
Yeah.
and then come back
Wasn't
to
that-
New York and fight crime?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't that always the story though?
That was always the story, but like,
Yeah.
I don't think he was as well known, and then
Yeah.
Netflix made it so he was known, and everyone was like, now hold on.
It was like people's introduction to the character. It's like if they were to make
Yeah.
a Cloak and Dagger TV show that did one season and
Yeah, shout out heroin. Let's
Moving right along. So today, at the time of this recording, the first trailer for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was released.
I did see some screenshots about it. I know you watched it, Jelani, the trailer.
I did. I watched it earlier.
He
It
sure
looks
did, yeah.
it looks pretty good. It looks pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie.
that's
I
good.
I think you guys should watch it. And we can rewatch it together.
the
But
weird thing
my
is, I
initial
think it
thoughts-
has. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying it looks really good. It looks like a lot of fun. I like the animation. I'm loving the fact that we have Peter back in high school again. He's like probably one of the few characters I don't mind seeing their origin a few times, even though it's very, very well known. But I think there's definitely certain ways you can kind of reiterate on it and in an interesting way. There is a particular moment that happens towards the end of the trailer. I was like, oh, that's a cool choice. I'm excited to see where they go with that. And yeah,
People are talking about it because I haven't watched it, but there's like, I think they've come out and said it's gonna have some kind of ties to the MCU, like in some way, but like loosely. So I'm curious how that's going. That comes out at the end of January. Yeah, they're right. That's
which I think is fine. I don't think they need another thing to because then I feel like we already have a Spider-Man, so it's just gonna kind of, you know, Unless this is showing like Tom Holland's, but we already seen him in high school, so like there's no we don't got to do all that. I mean, they did establish a whole bunch of multiverses, so like they can kind of get away with whatever they want. Yeah, but I'd be
content with like a Secret Wars cameo. Honestly, outside of that, I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, we already got the multiverse. We already saw all three of our favorite Spider-Mans interact with each other. I don't think we need a fourth Spider-Man that's not Miles Morales interacting with Tom Holland.
Right. I will say the Spider-Man fans on the internet, at least, are very, very, very passionate. They have a lot of strong opinions about Spider-Man and everything, Spider-Man properties, TV shows, everything. It's funny to see people's reaction to anything that comes out about Spider-Man sometimes.
People love him a lot.
People love him. People hate some adaptations. They're very passionate and creative about their reactions to things.
But I think that's it for Marvel TV and movies.
So moving over to comic books. If you guys remember in our last episode, we had a lot of news to talk about at that time, which means there's not as much specifically DC news to talk about. There are some new books that are coming out in the next couple of weeks, which we'll probably include in our what are you reading segment in our next episode. But some things coming out in January. We have Aquaman #1, Justice League: The Atom Project #1, Green Lantern: Fractured Spectrum #1, and then DC Power: Rise of the Power Company. That'll be coming out this month. We'll be checking out some of those books. But to talk about, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm excited for most of those. Aquaman looks cool, but I don't think I'm already picking up too many books, so something's got to get shelved.
Picking up a lot. I was looking at my list the other day. I was like, God damn.
I was thinking about it because I was like kind of like gathering, because I was trying to like skim through some stuff that I missed and kind of catch up on some reading, and I was just like grabbing all these random Midtown Comics like brown paper bags. I'm like, I keep on. It's like I think because of the show, we all get excited when Wednesday rolls around. So, you know, and I'm usually in the office that day, so I can just go down the street and go to my local comic book shop, and then I'm good. So there's a whole bunch of trades that I've picked up that I have not gotten to yet. But I was like, maybe I should invest in an iPad and just kind of read them online. I'll cop issue 1. I'll cop issue 1. But you know, the rest of the series.
Which Midtown do you go to, Jelani? Because I know there's 4, right?
Yeah, there's one super duper downtown by like Wall Street that I go to.
I'm trying to dox this man.
No, I'm saying it's like multiple ones and stuff like that, but it's like they're pretty well known locations, like big stuff.
But I'm looking because we talked about most of these books before. I'm looking forward to the Atom Project because they've been kind of big upping that within Justice League Unlimited. So I'm interested in that. Of course, Green Lantern, Fractured Spectrum. You know, I'm all in on that one. Love Green Lantern, and it's right after the Civil Core War or whatever they wanted to call it. And then DC Power: Rise of the Power Company. Shout out to my typing, my spelling there. But I'm really interested in this book because it's going to feature a lot of the black superheroes. I'm really excited. And I saw Jo on one of the covers as well, and I just love her.
After work?
No.
Shout out.
Mullen.
Yeah, and I know it's in February, but I'm gonna talk about it here. And right at the beginning of February, we do have the Zatanna book coming out, and we'll talk about it more as it gets closer. The new ongoing. But to talk a little bit about our Marvel books, Marvel has a lot of new books, new news.
Yeah. Marvel's got a lot going on.
So
the new book's starting in January. And of course, again, this is just the book starting in January. There's not to mention all of the ongoing series that DC and Marvel already have going out right now. But new books starting in January. We got Deadpool Wolverine #1, which was, of course, unless you've been under the rock, you know they teamed up recently. So Lord knows what's going to happen in that comic. Then we got Ultimate Wolverine #1. Small indie, yes. We got Ultimate Wolverine #1 coming out, which I'm really excited for this book because I believe they said he's going to be the Winter Soldier in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really cool.
Okay.
New Champions #1. Not really sure about that team, but they're coming out. I'll probably read up more about them, see if I'm interested. Sam Wilson, Captain America #1 of 5. Sam Wilson's going to be going up against the Red Hulk, which I believe is what's happening in the movie as well,
yeah,
if
that's
I'm not
also
mistaken.
in February coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's coming out soon too.
So I'm guessing that those two are probably going to be tied in, or inspired by.
Yeah, like
That sounds
company
about right.
synergy.
Yeah.
Some synergy, yeah. We got Cable, Love and Chrome #1, which I am a big fan of Cable, so I'm probably going to pick that up. Magic #1. I know, Dame, you were looking at her variant covers yesterday. Don't hit me.
She has
Give it to me, please.
I will not be picking up this book because as a strategist in Marvel Rivals, I got beef with all Magic players.
She has 20 variant covers coming out.
Good
Normally,
Google.
whenever a new series or start or a new character, whatever, they'll get a bunch of
What me
different.
20 different times in that game.
Right, it's just 20
She
angles
got a
of Marvel
variant
Rivals.
Yeah, I'll probably check that one out.
Yeah.
That does
We
look
got
interesting.
Rogue the Savage Land. So Rogue's in her own comic book. I didn't read into it, but she looks to be out in the middle of nowhere, so that should be fun. Rogue's a fantastic character, so I might look into that. Then speaking of what if, we have Marvel and Disney. What if Mickey and friends became the Fantastic Four?
Hell yeah, brother!
Oh boy, it's clobbering time.
Jelani's definitely picking that up. Let's see. We have Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon #1, which is a weird pairing, but
Very weird. Very weird.
depending on which iteration of Doctor Doom, he could be the Sorcerer Supreme at this time. Who knows?
Right. Yeah.
He could
That's
be Iron Man. Who knows?
Marvel.
Next, we have a short series called Daredevil Unleash Hell, Red Band. I'm probably going to
Sick.
pick this up. Daredevil is really fantastic. I know Jelani's excited for that as well.
My boy.
Then we have Marvel is
a slew.
doing. We have a slew. Marvel is doing a thing. What did they call it? A month-long. Hold on, I gotta scroll up. I'm scrolling. A month-long What If Galactus Tales. So every week in January, a new hero is taking on the mantle of Galactus. The first week, they're going to have What If Galactus Transformed Hulk. Week 2, he's going to transform Rogue. Week 3 is Gambit, which the cover for that one looks insane. I will be picking that up. And then Spider-Gwen to end things. Nope, not end things out. Then we have Moon Knight as well. So yeah, if you're interested in that, that's a lot. That's a lot of good heroes. I like Moon Knight. I like Spider-Gwen, Gambit, Rogue, Hulk. So I might pick those up just for the novelty of it, and if it's a good book, plus. And then we have a new Storm book called Storm Livestream #1 coming out.
Is that?
I believe this.
Go ahead.
This is by a lot of Black creators that have worked on Storm in the past. So it might be interesting to pick up. What were you gonna ask?
I was just saying, is this like a redoing of her current book that she has right now, or just its whole separate thing?
It's a separate thing because I think issue 4 of her miniseries comes out in January as well. So it's a separate thing. More Storm. She's doing her big one right now, and I love that. And then of course, because this is also Disney, I put it here, but Star Wars: A New Legacy #1 is also releasing. That is happening in the Marvel Universe. Also happening in the Marvel Universe in 2025. The Marvel heroes are going up against no other than Godzilla.
My God. He fucked up every single couple years ago. Now he's going to Marvel.
He's going to Marvel from one universe to the next. We got a 6-issue comic crossover with issues focused on the Fantastic Four, which Dame, I think you posted the cover for the Fantastic Four when that's coming.
I posted it in the server we have, and I put comic books, man. It looks like God, I'll put it on screen, but like Godzilla's just like blowing his beam, and like Fantastic Four. It's cool. It is when you see stuff like that, it's like, man, comic books are cool, man.
Yeah, I think that story, maybe it's that same story, but Ghidorah is Galactus's herald.
Oh yeah, I think that is the same.
Wow, that's badass.
That's crazy.
That's awesome as fuck, actually.
So yeah, super excited.
Yeah, I think cool, that does. Comic books are awesome, but yeah, I think that is going to happen in the Fantastic Four one. But other heroes you'll see, Hulk's just getting everything. First he's Galactus, now he's fighting Godzilla. Then we also got Spider-Man, X-Men, and Thor going up against Godzilla. So, it should be some interesting matches. But yeah.
Who y'all picking?
Honestly, Spider-Man.
It's hard to
Spider-Man's stronger than everybody.
It's hard to pick against the X-Men, honestly. The X-Men could just kind of...
That's true.
Yeah.
Man, I'm looking at this variant cover for Godzilla versus the Fantastic Four.
I want it as a poster, dude.
So the thing one that's like black and yellow and like has like a little bit of red on it, like that one looks crazy. Because it looks like a classic movie poster. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. I love when companies do like little mashups like this, and like it makes sense. I think that's really cool.
Another book coming out soon. I don't believe. Oh, it starts in March. It's going to be Doctor Strange of Asgard, Sorcerer Supreme No More, with the title of Sorcerer
Strange.
Okay. With the title of Sorcerer Supreme now in Doctor Doom's hands, Stephen Strange is having a bit of an identity crisis. The next era of Doctor Strange begins this March in Marvel Comics by Derek Landy and Carlos Magno. That's there.
I assume Thor will show up, but...
I'm excited. I was explaining earlier that I read Time Slide, this little ditty right here. Time Slide, because I love both of these characters. And in that book, there's like this prophecy because they're time sliding. They go to the future. There's like this apocalyptic, dystopian future, and they're like, hey, help us. So these are the things that led us to us getting right here. Can you go like undo some of these things? And they were like in the middle of the mission, they said, pause, no, I'm doing something. So they left. So through the prophecy, you see some of the things mentioned, and you can very, very clearly tie those to upcoming books. One of them mentioned Strange of Asgard was the prophecy. So, of course, that's going to have tie-ins. I believe another book we just mentioned earlier, Ultimate Wolverine, is going to have some tie-ins as well. So I think it's going to lay the foundation to Imperial, the summer event, which we're speculating is going to be a summer event. We'll see. Yeah. Because they haven't really said anything about it, but the way Time Slide was set up, I think it's, if not the summer event, it's going to be a big event coming to Marvel Comics very soon. It's going to be exciting, so I'm excited to see all the books kind of tie in, and it's getting me excited about Marvel. As a lot of us here we're big DC fans, but there's some shit going down in Marvel.
I think they're seeing all the stuff DC was putting out. They're like, oh shit, let's not fuck with
that. Yeah. So I'm excited. Another book coming out, Eddie Brock, Carnage #1. In the aftermath of the Venom War, the Venom symbiote left the Brock family behind and searched for a different host. Check out all new Venom #1. Who is Eddie Brock without a symbiote? Unfortunately for Eddie, he won't have much time to figure that out as he bonds with the violent and sadistic Carnage. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm excited.
It's a horror book. Is that what they described it as?
It's gonna have to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's giving
so in this one. It's giving rom exactly. It's giving buddy cops. Buddy cops. But in this one, Eddie brought Carnage by Charles Soule and Jesus Saiz. I'm sorry, Saiz. Okay. Host the symbiote will.
Take your time, Pastor.
I don't know what I wrote. Host and symbiote will negotiate the terms of their bloody relationship. Carnage is someone that has to kill, so Eddie has to feed him deaths. In order for Eddie to be okay with that, the people he feeds Carnage are serial killers, but Carnage is also an addict. An addict needs bigger and bigger highs. So that'll be coming out February 12th.
Just really tall serial killers.
just height. Height is what we're looking for here. But our next slide, we'll let you take it away here.
Our expert in this field.
Yeah.
Yes, since I'm diamond in Rivals, I figured
here we go.
I'd take this step aside, fellas. Let me clear up.
Crazy work.
Marvel Rivals, multimedia product has it's released a limited comic series. I think we just have the first issue currently. It's cool. It's fun. It's basically just exploring the lore behind the game, which just adds another layer of interest for me, and I think we'll do the same for just about anybody. It's like a breeze. It's a breezy read. I mean, set expectations super low, but definitely be like entertained by it. Like it's fun. It's not like don't expect this big world changing punchy plot heavy story, but more of like expansive material to engage with the game. Like, oh, okay, this push point map, for instance, like the first issue is Tokyo 2099, understanding like the rationale between Spider-Zero and her mentor, and why they have like contrasting views on how to handle patching up their world, because it's basically there's this like big event that's happened that's causing multiple worlds to splinter. It, in a way, honestly feels a bit like a prelude to Secret Wars to a degree. Like you could kind of look at the entire game sort of like that. So it's fun. It's interesting, but definitely, like don't expect anything crazy.
I see. It's a weekly series coming out, and it's only digital. Which is
okay.
You should check out Marvel Rivals. I'm not surprised they have a comic book. It makes sense to kind of, because there is some like lore you can read in game, but it definitely seems like something they want to expand more, to the book form.
I need more pictures for sure.
More visuals, more art,
more visuals.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, that is Marvel Rivals. To end out things here in Marvel comic news, since we already kind of briefly touched on Imperial, there's not a whole lot of news there. Yeah. X-Manhunt is coming to us in March. Charles Xavier, the most dangerous mutant in the world, is on the run in Marvel Comics X-Manhunt. An 8-part
is he running?
Crossover. Jelani Hendricks. 5 minutes on mute, please. 5 minutes on mute.
His immediate face, he said, well.
Yeah, we're cooked. We're absolutely cooked.
Jelani. Anyway,
and that's all.
I'm excited. There's a lot happening in the X-Men comics and just Marvel overall. Ever since Krakoa, disappeared. There are murmurings of a new Krakoa. So it will be interesting to see if this book sets that up or what the implications are.
Yeah. Marvel released like a whole thread, because it's a crossover across, what they say, 8 books, something like that.
Yeah.
They released a thread kind of for each one. And I'll put it on screen. There's a cover for the Storm crossover, which is sick. It's like Professor X, but it's like his his Krakoan version of him, basically when he has that helmet and like that black suit. When he can run, Jelani at that point. But he has that cover with the Storm. It looks super sick, and I'm very curious where they're gonna take the X-Men books as a whole, knowing that Disney likes to synergize with the MCU, and now that mutants are coming into the MCU, kind of how that's all. I hope they don't try to do everything one-to-one, because I think the X-Men, again, I've mentioned this before, are my favorite Marvel characters. And I think they work best when they're not trying to synergize with anything, just kind of do their own thing.
And I don't think they will. I think X-Men has a lot of freedom right now, and I do hope they continue to do so. Because like you see it in like a lot of their solo books right now. Even big name X-Men aren't really doing X-Men things right now. Like even in Storm's book, she's an Avenger, but she's kind of just chilling on her own. She's like dealing with her own issues. There's not really, you do see, she does go back to the X-Men at one point, and some wonky little things happen. Some little kisses and sweet nothings are whispered in one X-Men, one X-Men's ear. But but beyond that,
2 a.m. things.
2 a.m. teens. But they're having a lot of fun.
Where my hug
at? And I forgot there is some more Marvel news or Disney news. I don't know how you want to put it, but it was on Marvel's site, so I'll add that one. But Star Wars Jedi Knight, it is on Marvel's site. Star Wars Jedi Knight, first issue in the prequel era is how they put it. It begins here. Marvel's first series focusing on the Guardians of Peace and Justice in the Galaxy, the Jedi Knights, featuring your favorite Jedi like
everyone's
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, and Mace Windu, alongside brand new Jedi, sure to become fan favorites. And who is this mysterious new villain? Nobody knows.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried to get into Star Wars. Like when they were coming out with that new trilogy, was it 2014, 2015? I went back and watched the old movies, those first 6, whatever, for the first time, like in full. And I was like, okay, it's cool. And then like with me with Star Wars, it's one of those things where it's like I will watch them. I'm not a huge fan. I don't know all the crazy backstory, all these other stuff. And then when they started having all these, they have like 6 shows on Disney Plus. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna watch this.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's fatigue for a franchise not a lot of people are watching.
Yeah.
I personally, I grew up with Star Wars. My dad is like a huge Star Wars fan. So like I grew up with those first 3 movies. We watched them a lot. The second 3 movies, we watched those a few times. Jar Jar Binks.
Shout out.
Your days are numbered. And then the last 3 movies, the most recent movies. Okay.
Shout out that conspiracy theory for so long.
Why do you say fuck me so for?
Okay. Hey, Jelani, 5 more minutes of silence.
Jelani's been on a good one today.
Just 5 more minutes of silence, please. But yeah, and then the most recent movies, they were fine. They weren't horrible, like a lot of people claim, but they also did a lot of harm to the franchise.
Women being Jedis.
Jesus.
Jelani, 20 more minutes of silence, please. Just 20 more minutes.
I was pretending I was the Star Wars nerds because I enjoyed those movies.
I will be the Star Wars apologist and say the Darth Vader. Damn.
Do you even watch Star Wars? Are you even a fan?
Fake fan. He's a poser. The Darth Vader run that kind of ties in some of the events that take place, I believe, between 3 and 4, episodes 3 and 4, is one of the most incredible stories that I've read.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, it's so good. It's super good. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it.
Jarvis, implement Order 66.
Jarvis.
It's
Darvis.
Jarvis, kill them kids.
Darthvis.
That's what's gonna happen in the Secret Wars movie.
So stupid. And then another book we mentioned earlier, but here's a little more insight on it. Cable, Love and Chrome. Shout out to Cable. He was just in Time Slide with Bishop. Now he's got his own thing coming out in January. But here's what they have to say about it. Marvel's most extreme mutant returns. He's been a soldier, an X-Men, a protector of the time stream. But even from his earliest days, the mutant known as Cable has been living on borrowed time, waging a lonely war against the ravages of the techno-organic virus. Yet, when a high-stakes mission in the future goes, oh my God, take your time, catastrophically awry, holy moly, Cable is left stranded in the dystopian city of Salvation Bay, which you do get a glimpse of in Time Slide, and will find himself he already has a shawty in Salvation Bay. He just got here. And will find himself caught in the midst of the civil war that will change his life forever. Get ready for big action, bigger threats, and the biggest guns in the Marvel Universe in this epic new series from Ringo Award-winning writer David Pepose? Punisher. Sorry.
That was really straight teleprompter.
Sorry, guys, teleprompter. Who is known for their Punisher and Savage Avengers runs, and superstar artist Mike Henderson, who is known for Daredevil and Deadpool versus Old Man Logan. So I'm probably going to be picking this up. Huge fan of Cable. I don't know if I said that enough times during this one episode. But yeah, so
what were your thoughts on Josh Brolin as Cable, Deadpool 2?
I love Brolin. I love him so much. Yeah. And that's about all I can say. I fear.
Beautiful gowns.
Method Man for Bishop, though. Method Man for Bishop. I want to see that.
Who is? Bishop's tough.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like because you would think on paper it's him, but we've already got it. Just like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like second appearances, especially when your first appearance in the IP is such a such a crucial and like 10 out of 10 execution. I don't know.
That's fair. But yeah, that's all the Marvel books we have.
There's one other, depending on where we want to put it. Rise of Emperor Doom comes out, I believe, in January. Right?
Does it?
Oh,
yeah. I did not know.
That's like,
okay, cute.
That's like the.
Okay, books.
And he was prepared. What the hell? Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Research. Hey,
I was like, they gonna cook us if we don't mention it.
I'm looking it up right now. Damn.
But I think it comes out in January.
Cool. That's dope.
Is it the summer?
I think it's. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to find it. It just says 2025.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because so we know Doom.
Oh, February.
Okay.
February. Okay.
Newest Sorcerer Supreme. He's done it all. I think that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that comes from last summer's Blood Hunt limited series. Yeah. Is where that takes place, and I think to a degree, like we were talking about, this is gonna tie into Imperial this upcoming summer. So I think there's some continuation, but I'm curious. I'm curious to see how it plays out. Doom in this new superior position. I feel like every story like this with Doom kind of feels the same. But it's fun. I like Doom. I mess with Doom. Yeah. But it does.
The way he described it is like he's bending the Marvel Universe to his will, which I'm like, wasn't that kind of Secret Wars? But I assume...
yeah, like quite literally.
I assume they're probably doing this for, like, because they have the Ultimate Universe happening, this new Ultimate Universe happening right now that people are very much enjoying. We have Ultimate Wolverine coming out and stuff like that. So I'll be curious if they kind of...
I can see this coming to a culmination of the Ultimate Universe and the regular Marvel Universe, kind of the same way DC is doing, the Absolutes Universe. And if you read the All In, you know how that started. Yeah. So that's going to come to a head at some point, excuse me. And I feel like Doom is probably going to be the catalyst of these universes colliding. Yeah. Because even going back to Timeslide, I don't know if I've mentioned that comic, but
wait, hold on.
We're gonna need a time slide, a cable counter.
The funny thing is, he's gonna mention it again in our last segment. What have you been reading?
True. But in Timeslide, because remember I was mentioning like some of those prophecies and how they're going to tie into upcoming books, but there are regular Marvel books, and then you have Ultimate books also mentioned in there, like Ultimate Wolverine. So both of these universes are going to come to a head at some point in the near future. And from what you just said, that might start with Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
so
interesting.
The Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe coming together maybe kind of secretly and fight some kind of war that Doom is behind.
Where have I heard that before?
Listen, say that again? I'm joking, but DC does the same thing with their Crisis.
Yeah, with the Crisis.
It's also, and if you're going to put it in any hands, I think Hickman's hands are definitely the place to put it.
Sure.
Of course, he wrote a fair amount of most recent 2015 run of Secret Wars. Yeah. So I think
Hickman was also in charge of the Krakoa era.
Yeah,
so.
his stuff was really
so good. Hickman is the guy,
Yeah,
but
it's Marvel's guy.
So Hickman's doing Doom, and he's also doing Imperial this summer. Mayhaps they have some some ties. Mayhaps.
Yeah, that's all about our books. One thing I did want to mention that we didn't put on this list, and it's funny, Q, that you were like, one more thing. I thought you were going to mention this. I don't know why, but it's dumb. Ooh. But one thing that we talked about, we're not even talking about, let me put it in here. One thing that did happen that since we last recorded is the Kraven movie came out. And
we had to mention that.
The only thing I want to mention is a quote that came out from the Sony Pictures CEO. They said, Kraven the Hunter is probably the worst launch we had in 7.5 years. So that didn't work out very well. I still don't understand because the film is not a bad film. So
y'all said we're watching after recording?
That is the end of the Sony Universe movies. I think they're done. They're done.
Did y'all see him also defend Madam Web? Yeah. It's like his thought.
So are you watching these movies?
It's actually a decent film.
Yeah. Okay. For sure. When one of your stars is like, I literally did this so my other movie that was way better can get made. Like, come on now. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but that is
let's do this movie where we can't say the word Spider-Man and come on. Spider-Man's a buzzword.
It seems like that's going to be the end of Sony's villain movies they've been trying to do for the last couple of years.
Oh, no.
Venom's done,
Damn, I'm so sad about that.
Y'all said we're doing a double feature, Mobius, Kraven, and a triple feature. We can watch Madam Web too, all in the same day.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that.
Q's on board.
Should we do like a very drunk?
Because Damien, you remember we did try to do a series where we would get drunk and watch bad movies. You remember that, don't you? We started off with Fantastic Four.
That's so crazy that when me and Q joined, you guys stopped doing that. I feel like we should bring that back. Yeah. Well, the four of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're saying we need to schedule a time.
Yeah. Now there's like the Fantastic Four of us to do
all Damien's idea. Just want the record to show that. By the way,
Damien's idea.
And I love supporting my friends and their ideas.
And I love supporting Damien specifically.
We love supporting Damien's ideas.
So we'll pick a date.
Going into our last segment, which is probably one of our new favorite segments, again introduced by Q. Talking about what we've been reading the last couple of weeks. I don't know if someone maybe has been reading a comic book, something sliding about time, whatever they might want to talk about. But whoever wants to kick off what they've been reading recently, some recent books they have.
No, I haven't read anything. Q.
Not
So I don't know if you. I don't know if you guys
Brings
heard,
up
but
the biggest stack of comic books I've ever seen.
I know. I have my little baby stack right here.
This is like
band for band.
This is backlog as well from
Do a money spread with the comic books. Real quick.
I got you. Hold on. Let me get my big hand.
Look at that stack. It's crazy.
Dang. Oh my gosh.
And there's like a bigger stack of things that I have not read yet, so we're not going to talk about it.
Didn't you get Ultimate Deadpool? Is that out
Ultimate
yet?
Deadpool?
Am I tripping?
No, I have not gotten that. I don't know if it's out, Ultimate Deadpool. But anyway, we'll look that up later.
Okay, so what have you been reading?
Time Slide. Time Slide. Hey, everybody pick this book up, okay?
Is it just
it's really
one
good.
issue, or is there going to be multiple issues?
I actually don't know, and I meant to look that up. You're absolutely correct. Time Slide.
Probably a miniseries, I assume.
Time Slide. We got Cable. We got Bishop. Basically, they like time adventures, and they're going on one. Okay, so pick it up. But no, this book has a lot of implications of what's coming in Marvel in 2025. I mentioned some of the books that were mentioned earlier, like Doctor Strange. And also Ultimate Wolverine. They have a panel in the back of the book that kind of goes over some of the other books. You should keep an eye out as well. But basically, they have to go save the mutants, as always. And in doing so, in saving the mutants, they also learn of a dystopian future. But they're like, we can't handle that right now, one thing at a time. So they kind of like put that on the back burner, go finish up their mission. And then the lady that's like sent them on the mission, she's like, yeah, don't worry about all those things you saw. It won't come back.
Also, won't come back around. Looks like Time Slide is just one issue. It'll be.
Okay, I am sad because it was a good book, but that also makes sense because it did feel like a prequel of things to come. I think it's basically its intention is to tell you what's happening in 2025, and they did a good job doing so.
Nice.
So if you like Cable, if you like Bishop, pick it up. It's a fun little time, and like Dame said, one issue, in and out, nothing sweet. Let's see. Next, I would just finish up reading Helverine, issue 1.
Ooh.
It was fantastic. So Helverine kind of picks up after events that I did not read about, so I had to do a little bit of research, but they do kind of go over it as well.
Yeah, Ghost Rider, right?
Well, kind of, sort of. Same being taken over by a demon entity, for sure. But apparently this entity took over Wolverine at first. They got him exercised, and then the demon was like, "Ooh, I like that host. Run it back." And so he found Wolverine's freshly dead son, revived him, and now he is.
Oh my
God,
okay.
That's comic books, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Doctor Strange shows up in this issue as well, and he also mentions that he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore. He's in his Sadman flip-flops. He's
My
in
son down perilous.
Right.
He's in his depression pants. So
Just eating ice
this was a fun read.
Not the DPs.
The DPs. It's a fun read. You can see where they're going with it. You know, if you know who Akihiro is, Wolverine's son, you know he was. Anytime he shows up in the comics, he's trying to kill Wolverine. So I'm sure we're going to see Wolverine at some point. But now he's kind of an anti-hero. But Mephisto still has his claws in the demon that's possessing him. So that might have bigger implications as well. I'm probably going to continue picking this up. I had a lot of fun with it. It has some horror vibes. I'm into it. Justice League number 2. Cool. I'm into it. Justice League Unlimited, definitely picked that up. I'm enjoying it. It's setting up a lot of comics coming in 2025 as well, like the Atom Project that's dropping in January. So yeah, definitely pick that up. I think what is their names? The superheroes?
Challengers of the Unknown.
Yes, that. I'm so glad you knew what I was talking about. But
DC
yeah, it kind of sets them up as well. Me and Damien talked about this briefly, but Black Canary 2 dropped. I read that. I enjoyed it. I really like how they're handling the fight. There are some character aspects that they took a few liberties with, but due to it being a Black label and due to it being, all stakes, I'm gonna roll with it. Yeah. I'm gonna continue to pick that up. Superman issue 2, Absolute Superman issue 2. Finally got a chance to read this. Thoroughly enjoying this book, especially getting a glimpse of I feel like the longest glimpse into Krypton we've gotten in a while. Even though it's an absolute version of it, and I think issue 3 is going to focus on what actually happened with the destruction.
That comes out next week, I think. Issue 3.
Yeah, it comes out next week. And also he has a little Jarvis, so that's cool.
Shout out Jarvis. Jarvis clip that.
Jarvis clip that. Wonder Woman issue 2. This cover is everything, bro. This is 3 or 2? This is 3.
3.
3. Thoroughly enjoying this Absolute Wonder Woman run.
Some of the best Wonder Woman moments in issue 3 specifically.
I'm
excited. Well. Yeah, I gotta read that.
Green Lantern Dark issue 2 was really good. I'm loving this series. It's if you like stories where the hero vehemently denies being a hero, check this out. She's just a drunkard and she just really wants to be left alone, and I can sympathize. so definitely pick it up. Another book with some horror feels toward horror vibes. So basically darkness has taken over this world and she's the only light with her lantern.
That's super cool. The art is incredible too.
The art is incredible. Then we read these Black Lightning issue 1 and 2. I unfortunately probably will.
Yeah, what's your honest opinion?
I unfortunately probably will not be picking up more of this. I might do like Jelani said and do the digital, but I don't see myself spending more money on hard copies of it. While I do like it, I did enjoy it. There's just so many more good books out right now, and I feel like this is so far a paint by the numbers Black Lightning story, and I feel like they could do so much more with it. I do like that it has real deal implications from the fallout of Absolute Power, so that was a really cool aspect of the book. One of his daughters, his daughters are Thunder and Lightning in the DC universe, and Thunder now has lightning powers, and she's going out of control. And she's the moody one, and she's very moody in this book. It was cool to see Still's daughter in here. She got her Still suit connected like she was Iron Man, just busting out the building. It was really fucking cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not super sold on it, so unfortunately I'm probably going to end it at issue 2 unless I go digital with it. I'm probably not going to pick up any hard copies of it, but if you're into it, support it. All right. Next, Something Crawled Out issue 2. I am really freaking enjoying this. This is an indie book by the same creators of The Autumnal. It's a horror book. Basically one dude might be the spawn of the devil. We don't know yet. But anyway, he's hanging out with his friend whose sister has gone missing, and they're trying to track her down. And the last panel of this book, he lit somebody on fire. So if you're into it,
as one
read
does.
It.
as one spawn of Satan does.
So you're telling me it's lit.
It's literally lit. Storm
there she
solo
is.
series banger. Please pick this book up.
Gotta
it is
read.
so freaking good. She got a little she almost died a few times in it so far, but she's a fighter. Yeah, she's a fighter. Okay. And she had to go hunt down what is it? Dr. Voodoo, and he looks awesome.
Really?
He popped up in the last issue of 3, so we'll probably see more of him in issue 4. But yeah, he's gotta find out. He's got to help her, basically. I don't want to spoil too much. She's in danger, even though she's just living her life. Issue 2. had some things in it that a lot of people did not care for. But some of us can't quit our exes. And then
she wanted the whole thing back.
Yeah.
Cups of the rose.
Then Plastic Man No More. This series is over. Man. It was only a 4-issue series, but it was really, really good. This is my first Plastic Man stories, and it was like a Black Label event. But yeah, it was fantastic. It's very dark and gritty. And then when he's talking to the Justice League, it's like all colorful and like they're just ha 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 laughing at him. So it really kind of shows that duality of they see him as a joke. But the whole story is it's kind of a redemption story. And then like he has to figure out if he's going about that redemption in the right way or if he's doing too much, so I know Jelani, you read the first issue. I do highly recommend this story. It was really good.
Yeah, I gotta check it out for sure.
Do we know when the trade is coming out for that?
Probably
April or March. It's April or March. I did look that up previously. I think it's April. And then Shadow Cabinet, I started that. I still haven't gotten my hands on a copy of issue 2 because I'm looking for a very specific cover. And unfortunately, the comic shops I went to did not carry it, so I got to order it. But I'm enjoying this story so far. For those who are not familiar with the Shadow Cabinet, it's big in the Milestone universe, so we're going to see a lot of those heroes. As you can see, this is Rocket, who's usually seen with Icon, but he is off-world because they found out he's an alien, and they said, "Get out of here!" Scram! And he left. And then issue 2 the issue 2 that I was looking for had Static on the cover. Don't know what all the implications are in this book, but so far the story was enjoyable. So I'm going to keep reading this one. And that is it of things I've read recently.
There's a lot of books coming out. We talked about it like the last couple months this year. So many books coming out.
Yeah. All right. Dave?
I can go over mine. So the cover E was just talking about is this cover covers to issue 2. Of,
hey man, let me hold that.
Shadow Cabinet. I specifically ordered this from Midtown Comics to deliver it to me because my local shop also did not have this one here, but I wanted to get it for this Static cover. Static is just amazing in so many ways.
It's going up right here.
This one as well.
Teen Titans.
A new series that
just unclench.
A new series.
You're right.
A series that just started, and I recommend everybody needs to go read, is New Gods #1 by Ram V. He had a pretty significant run on Justice League Dark, the second volume of Justice League Dark, and this book, even though it's only one issue, it has kind of those readings where it's like this is going to be like almost generational in a way. I know it's only issue 1, but I'm just saying like the things they talk about,
not to gas it up,
the ways they're being talked about. It's just like and I'm already a fan of the New Gods, but I saw people saying like who didn't know a lot about the New Gods and they read this like, oh my god, this is amazing. So make sure you check out New Gods. Yeah, the art is so good on this. And then also one of my recent favorite series is The Question. This is issue 2. This is also a cover that I got from Midtown Comics. The Eradicator shows up in this one. This is the standard cover here, the Eradicator Enigma. She has some cool interactions as well with her ex, Kate Kane, a.k.a. Batwoman.
Oh, yeah. Batwoman.
I've been reading digitally because normally what I do for books, for a new series, I'll get the first volume, like hard copy or the hard version of it, and whatever variant, and then I'll read the rest of them in digital. Unless there's a cover like this for The Question or for like Shadow Cabinet, like a cover I really want to get. Or unless it's a mini series like the Zatanna Bring Down the House that I wanted to get every time, I'll read them digitally. So sense. The digital ones I've been reading, I read Black Canary, Best of the Best. Like E mentioned, there's some things, some liberties taken with some characters, specifically her mom, that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but hey, I'm trying to see how it plays out. I read Justice League Unlimited #2, which is they set up the Atom Project in there. There's a very cool interaction that Wonder Woman has with Mary Marvel in that book, which was pretty cool. And then you see some Martian Manhunter stuff happen. So, but that's those are the few things I've been reading. I haven't been reading one of my big books recently just because the holiday season was happening. I wanted to kind of keep it low key. But I think when the new year starts, I'm going to pick up another one of my big books. But those are the solo issues. In terms of books coming out, I'm definitely going to pick up Zatanna. I know I keep talking about it, but that'll be my new ongoing. How could I forget? We kind of mentioned it a little bit. Some of the best Wonder Woman moments just came out. I've also been reading that one digitally. An Absolute Wonder Woman #3. There's no spoilers, but there's some information. If you like her arm tattoo, you'll see some information in there with that issue. Cool. But it's just what they're setting up, everything they're doing, and people have been saying, like, at least so far with the 3 Absolute books, and we have more coming out in the new year. People are saying that they like Wonder Woman the most, even though Batman and Superman they're liking as well. But everything that I'm seeing, everyone is loving Absolute Wonder Woman, and it's just been it's been so fun to read that, and I'm very happy that she's getting that spotlight because she's not getting it much anywhere else. So that's what I've been reading. It's been a lot of fun.
Yikes!
I think it's been a good time, and like to be a comic book fan, specifically for DC and all these books we just talked about from Marvel that are coming out. There's a lot of fun stuff happening, and that's all my stuff.
I haven't really been reading too much, but I did catch up on Zatanna Bring Down the House issue 5. I was reading that a little bit before.
Hell yeah!
We hopped on, which was really, really good. And then I read issue 1 of Question All Along the Watchtower because I love me a nice little murder mystery. So that looks really, really good. So I'm excited to Weapon.
What'd you think of it? The Question.
Weapon.
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really good. I love how they're setting everything up. I love that she questions everything. I think it's like really cool, the concept of the Justice League being like, we need to keep ourselves in check. So we need someone that's objectively like an outsider to help us out and everything. I thought it was really cool how they tied in that she has she gets to work with other people as well within the Justice League. And I think that's just like really cool. I like how they set up kind of like not really like the world building, but like the exposition. It's like her waking up on the Watchtower, not really a spoiler, but like her waking up on the Watchtower. She's like, whoa, fuck, it's time to go to work in one of the weirdest places in the universe. And I think that's just like really cool because it's definitely like a fish out of water story, which I think is really dope. Because she's just going from dealing with like low key regular crime in Gotham to dealing with a whole bunch of supers. That type of balance is very fascinating to me. So I'm looking forward to reading the other issues. The cover that Damien was showing off, I did cop that as well because I thought that just looked so badass. And I kind of do the same thing. Like usually if it's a series that I'm really interested in, I'll cop the first issue. And if there's like a cover or a variant that I see, then I'm like, all right, well, I have to get that. But I'm trying to read more stuff digitally because I just do not have space in this small NYC apartment. So,
These
guys whole stack over there.
Right? That's what I've been reading.
A stack for sure.
Q, what about you? What you been getting into?
How's your journey been on this DC Batman?
Oh man, it's so fun. I'm really loving Absolute Batman. It's like the freshest the character has felt for me in a long time. I also like that his character he seems probably the most human in decision making. Like there are some choices that are made that you as a viewer can look at and be like, that feels a bit, like either irrational or maybe too emotionally charged, in comparison to maybe the tactician that we're used to getting. So it's cool. It's cool. I don't want to spoil anything, but where they leave things off on the latest issue, he makes a choice that is probably the muddiest decision I've seen Batman make, as far as ethics goes. So I'm really curious to see where the story lands, because I know at least for these absolute runs, this first part, I think for all of them is 6 issues. If they take it beyond that, then I mean, I'll be gobbling it up.
Yeah.
But
I think they will. I think it's just like the first arcs are like these first 5 or 6 ish, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think like that's going to lead into the other absolutes that we know are coming out, like Martian Manhunter and Flash. But it's
Green Lantern.
Something you said, like the Green Lantern one looks sick as well.
Yeah.
But it's like he had to make these decisions, but it's like and I feel like you can also see it in Wonder Woman and Superman. You're finally starting to see where those differences in their upbringings from the heroes that we know are starting to blur those lines. Because at first it's just like, oh, it's Wonder Woman, oh, it's Superman, oh, it's Batman, you know. Yeah, they had different upbringings, but like they're still these heroes. But like now you're kind of starting to see like Wonder Woman is a real deal magic user in this universe.
Which is what she should be.
Batman has a whole lot more gray than his black and white code of honor, and Superman's just all over the place. He don't know how to use his powers. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how to speak English that well. Like he's just.
I love it though. You speak a little Portuguese. My son trilingual. We
trilingual.
Asterisk.
He said translated. So it's really cool to see. Like, even though at the end of the day they are these heroes, these books are like slowly revealing what those major differences are. So by the time we get to issue 6, it's going to be really interesting to see how those lines are blurred in all of these books. Because they're not the same.
Everyone, please go buy Absolute Wonder Woman. I haven't read the other 2 yet. I do want to read those because I want to read them before the new Absolutes start. But yeah, that was
highly recommend.
Also, Q, I know you were showing off a little bit earlier, but do you want to give a preview of what you're going to be reading? I know you were kind of flexing that new book you just got.
Yeah, I got a few. I know I've mentioned. I feel like I've been mentioning books that I promise I will read.
There's no rush. Whatever time.
But Far Sector, talking about who done it. Far Sector, baby. I wanted
You're gonna have a good time.
I wanted to get the bigger version of it just because I know that some of the artwork is pretty fine lined, similar to All-Star Superman. So I'm excited. I love whodunit. True Detective's one of my favorite shows. So I like anything Lantern that is gonna be even remote, like remotely in that neighborhood. I'm eating it up. So
it's good because a lot of people are still kind of catching up to Jo, like because she's not. She's starting to appear in a lot of crossover. Like she'll be in Power Company. I think she was in Justice League Unlimited, like briefly, like a panel or two. I can't remember.
Is this her introduction?
Yeah, that's her first.
That's her
first big story.
Yeah, that's exciting.
But it's called Far Sector because, like, she's unlike literally the other 50 million Green Lanterns. She has nothing to do with Earth. She is stationed so far away.
She's way out there.
She's in the Far Sector, and she's like a real deal. Like detective. So I'm really excited you're getting to read that for the first time. And I'm excited that Jo is, she still hasn't had her heyday as of yet, but it seems like they're trying to put her in more stories now. So I'm really excited to see her around. Because she's going to be in the Broken new Spectrum story.
Yeah, she'll be in the new Green Lantern book.
Right.
But yeah, that's about it for everything we've been reading, all the recent news. Like I said, mostly similar to, and I'm not complaining, similar to the last episode, mostly book related. It's very exciting to see all the different interests and things people are checking out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for vibing. We will be back next month at the end, or I guess beginning of February. This is our first video of 2025. We have a lot of fun things planned, a lot of things we want to try to do. Happy New Year. Thank you guys for always supporting. Make sure you check out our Creature Commando series. reaction series. Make sure you check out our Harley Quinn reaction series when that drops in a couple of weeks. And Invincible will also be coming out in February. A lot more books are coming out. This 2025 is going to be a good year.
Our bad movie reactions. Don't skip that, Damien. Your idea. Your idea.
I see you left one out.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Make sure you follow us on our new social media channels. E, if you want to mention again those new handles on those social media pages.
Yes, we are Cool Comic Show on everything. That is Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky are our latest ventures, so definitely check us out there. We will get a Linktree post link under this video, so click that. Follow us everywhere. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.